Afro Tales Podcast is a part of the Connected Podcast Network. Chef. Yes, Glio. Don't you love how we get to share our stories and recipes? Yes, I enjoy it greatly. Do you know what makes it possible for everyone to hear us? Yes, Glio. Our voices, obviously. True, but it's also Anchor, a hosting platform that distributes the podcast to places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and others. Oh, yes. And isn't everything needed to make a podcast in one place? That's correct. And the best thing of all, Chef, it's free. Free, you say? Free. And all I had to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. So, you just had to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Yep. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and do what we're doing now. Fantastic, Grio. Simply fantastic. I know, Chef. I know.
Hello and welcome. I'm Aman Mazingo, and this is the AfroTales Podcast, a show that will explore the folklore, tales, myths, and legends of the African diaspora. Today, we go to Haiti for an interesting story of what happens when a goat, an hyena, and a lion all get together for dinner. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this tale of how the goat moved to the village. How Goat moved to the village. One afternoon, Goat was sitting by a fire just outside his house in the jungle, baking sweet potatoes. He had worked very hard during the planting season, so he had a good harvest. Now, he was going to satisfy his hunger for fresh baked sweet potatoes. He blew on the ashes and stirred the fire, and soon the delicious smell of sweet potatoes went floating through the jungle, carried along by the breeze. When the fire burned itself out, Goat, licking his lips, got a stick and quickly took out the big, steaming sweet potatoes from under the ashes. Grabbing a sweet potato, he blew on it. But before he could bite into it, a voice called out behind him, "Good morning." Goat jumped and dropped the sweet potato, as if those words had turned the potato into a red-hot coal. When he turned around, he saw, Hyena standing in back of him. Hyena's eyes were shining with bad intentions. Good afternoon, Goat replied. His voice was trembling in fear. "You have just arrived just in time for me. Come and help yourself to fresh baked sweet potatoes." "I'm starving," Hyena replied, looking hungrily at Goat. "But not for sweet potatoes." "Oh, I have cassavas and sweet corn, but if you can wait a few moments, I can cook them," Goat said, struggling to hide his fear. "I'm really hungry, but I am not hungry for cassava or sweet corn. I am hungry for you." Shivers ran down Goat's back. He wanted to run away. He needed to run away. But he couldn't run away. Where could he run? He knew Hyena could always catch up with him. My grandfather and your grandfather were great friends. They were so close, Goat said, trying to talk his way out of danger. Shut up, Hyena screamed at him, clawing in the air in anger. What do I care about your grandfather? I am hungry now, not for words, not for friendship, but for good goat meat. Seeing that Hyena wanted to eat and not talk, Goat quickly changed his strategy. He took a sweet potato and made a great show of biting into it. The sweet potato tasted like ashes, but that wouldn't prevent Goat from smacking his lips. He took little bites, but chewed big, on and on. Goat was buying time while looking to escape from the jaws of death. Despite his hunger, Hyena decided to wait a little while. Hyena wanted Goat to eat as much as possible so that Goat would be big enough to fill his stomach. As soon as Goat ate, on and on and on and on and on and on, however, Hyena's patience began to run out. What is taking so long? I cannot wait here while you eat all evening, eating so slow. That bite will be your last. I am starving. He came toward Goat, his eyes shining, his claws itching to get at him. At that moment, they heard a loud, blood-chilling noise that sounded like thunder as Lion came walking around them. Good afternoon, Lion roared, glaring at both Hyena and Goat. Good afternoon, Lion, Hyena stammered, but Goat remained silent. You look so sad, as if you had been sentenced to death. What is the matter with you? Lion said, fixing his eyes on Goat with a fierce gaze. I was about to eat my fresh baked sweet potatoes when Hyena came by. I invited him to join in. I offered to cook cassava and sweet corn for him if he preferred, but he said he was going to eat me instead. I don't think he's being fair. That is really not fair. No one should really be doing that. Maybe you can settle the matter. I really cannot say whether Hyena is being fair or unfair, Lion replied, staring at Hyena with hunger in his eyes. But it seems to me there's only one way to settle such a delicate matter. Let Goat eat his sweet potatoes. Let Hyena eat Goat. So I can eat Hyena. That will settle the matter once and for all. Hyena felt numbness all over and broke out in a sweat. He thought Lion's solution was terribly unfair, but he was silenced by the look in the big cat's eyes. Trying to put on a good face in a disaster, Hyena laid his paw on Goat's neck and shaking him said, "Hurry up and finish your sweet potato so I can eat you up and Lion can eat me up. But first, I must step into the bush to relieve myself. Excuse me one moment." And Hyena disappeared into the bush. A few moments later, Goat saw Hyena running as fast as he could. He was running for his life. Mr. Lion, your food is running away, Goat shouted to Lion, pointing in the direction Hyena was running. In a flash, Lion went flying through the jungle in hot pursuit of Hyena. Goat sprang to his feet, ran in the opposite direction, promising never to return to the jungle. Goat ran straight to the village. Soon afterwards, his parents and all his relatives joined him. But whether Goat and his family intended to remain in the village or live somewhere else is still a mystery. The end. Okay, so did you guys feel how I felt at the end of that for Goat? Like, Goat, yes. Because at the end of the day, Goat was like, I don't want to get eaten. This isn't right. Yeah, I'm not down for this. And he bought his time. You know, he was biding his time to see how he was gonna get out of there, and he got out of there. And you know, I think about that. I've been Goat before. I've also been Lion before, and both positions. I'm not gonna say I liked being Goat, but it was good knowing that you had Lion to come to back you up when you needed it. It's funny thinking about Lion. I have a side note. I have a little girl that looks up to me. She calls me Blue Lion. I call her Pink Lion, and that's our little thing. And that's my little, you know, she's one of my hearts. I got other children, you know, but she's one that I didn't make, but it's mine, you know, and I'll always be her lion, you know, and I'll always be her Blue Lion. But we all have friends like that. We know goats, you know. We have goats in our life, and we can be their lions, and we have those people where sometimes we are the goat, and we need lion to keep the hyenas at bay. And that's something that's on both ends. You need that in life. You know, you need to know that somebody's there to help you, and it might not always be physical. Okay, you know, for a lot of us that are living alone, and especially in these times, hyena may be society. Hyena may be the government for you. The hyena may be somebody at your job, you know, and lion may be HR. Lion may be your spiritual walk, okay? Lion may be somebody that you can go to that you didn't know that could help you with a situation that was hard for you. So don't think it has to be an actual person to fight a physical fight. Sometimes it can be an emotional fight. Sometimes it can be a spiritual fight. You know, for some people, your goat and hyena is depression, anxiety, loneliness. And lion is faith sometimes. Lion is a friend that can be there for you to talk to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go into it like this. I wanted to talk about the story, but you know, lion told hyena, yeah, go ahead. Do what you want to my friend. Do what you think you're going to do to my friend. But just know whatever you do, I'm doing to you. That's a dad. I just thought about that. And I have daughters. I have 3 that I made and 1 that I love as if she is my own. And if you do something to my daughter, just know that I'm doing it to you. And that goes for my sons too. I got 2 of them. You do something to my son, just know I'm going to do something to you. It's not even a threat. It's a promise. I'm their lion. No matter where they are in the world, I'm their lion. My mother is my lion. My father is my lion. I'm. It doesn't stop. We all have them, and we can be it for somebody else, and then they'll be it for somebody that needs them. And sometimes we need that in this world. Just to make it through a day, we need lions when we're goats, and hyenas are at our door. Well, thank you for taking the time out to listen. Thank you for listening through my rambling if you've gotten this far. And as always, have a great, great day. Thank you again for your time. Thank you for supporting and sharing this podcast with your family and friends. You can always find Afro Tales Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you want to leave me a message or a tweet, I can be found on Twitter at AfroTalesCast, on Instagram and Facebook at AfroTalesPodcast, and now on Coffee at coffee.com/AfroTalesPodcast, where you can financially support me for the price of one small cup of coffee. However you support, I thank you and I appreciate it always. So until next time, have a great day.